Hey everybody, so today we are going to be coloring this cute Stamping Bella image called Sunshiny Flynn. I thought she'd be pretty easy to color and a lot of fun. So I've stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. So I'm going to start out by outlining my image with C0. And I'm just going to start down here at the bottom of her foot and just go all the way around. Nothing fancy. Just going to put a cute little shadow around her body here so it looks like she's kind of popping up off the page, not quite so flat. Yeah, go around her hand. And I also want to get this string, so I'm just going to go right up the string. Oh, I'm going to make it a little bit wider. And around my balloon. And let's go back down this side too. Just make it a little bit thicker. And back down this way. Get in between her pigtail there. Down, all the way down to the bottom of her shoe, and then in between her legs there, we'll get that just a little bit. Now let's give her something to stand on. For that we're going to use W2, W1, and W0. I'm going to start with W2, and I'm just going to go up a little bit past her shoe and just flick right away from her body. And same for this one. I think I'll go up here. I'm going to grab W2, oh, sorry, W1. That one, last one was W2. And we're just going to flick away again from this. And I'm going to fill it in with my W0. And you can go as far out or as little as you like. Just like to give her a little something to stand on so it doesn't look like she's standing in thin air. And then I always like to go back with my darkest color and add my shadow back in. So this is W2. And sometimes I make it a little bit less, sometimes I bring the lines out a little bit more. Now let's go work on her skin, and for that we're going to use E11, E21, E00, E000. For her cheeks we're going to use R43, R20, and R30. And let's start down here on her legs, and for that I'm going to use E11 first. And I'm just going to add a little dab on the top underneath of her dress, and then I'm going to go down the inside of this one. Don't forget her foot. And then this side we're going to go down this side and then her foot. Then I'm going to grab E21. And there's not much space, so I'm just going to do a little bit so I can have room for my E00. Brush that line just a tad. And then E00, oops, grab the wrong one, E00 to fill that in. She's got really skinny legs. Let's go up here and do her arms, and again grab E11 first. So I'm just going to go right down the inside of her dress, just a tiny line, in the bottom of her arm, and then around to her hand. Maybe dab her fingers a couple of times. And then let's do this arm right next to her dress. And then E21 right over the top. And I'm going to try to leave a little bit of white just so I can add my last color in there. And then E00 to fill that in. And again, her arms are really tiny, so you have to be careful. Then for her face, we'll start with E11 again. And let's go right up next to her bangs and her hair. And I'm going to bring this side around like that, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go with E21. I'm going to brush over that line, soften it just a little bit. I want to bring this, I want to connect the dots with this side. And then E00. And E000. And I'm not worried that it's not blended because I'm going to put her cheek color on and then I'm going to go over it again. So next let's grab R43 for our cheeks. And let's give her a little rosy cheek right here and right here. And then R20. Go right over the top of that, make it a little bit thicker. And R30 to fill it in. I'm going to brush right over the top of that. Okay, then I'm going to grab E11 again, and I'm going to start on this side. And I want to flick my brush away from her face. That way as I pick up my pen, it's getting a little bit lighter. And then E21. And I want to do the same thing for this side over here. We want to start our E21 over here. And then E000. And then go over the whole thing with E000. And then if you feel your cheeks are too light, you're going to go ahead and just go back and add some more cheek color. So I'm going to add a little bit more here. I think I lightened them up too light. R20. That was R43. This one's R20. And then R30. And then I take my E000 and just brush right over the top of those. Now let's do her hair. For that we're going to use E29, E25, E35, and E51. I'm going to start with my E29 to add some shadows. So let's do that right below her little ponytail holder and above. Same for this side. And then I also want to add a little bit right here to where her bangs are coming down. And then let's do the roots of her hair. I'm going to add a little bit right along the root here. And I try to keep my brush going in the direction her hair is actually going, so I wouldn't want to do diagonal, straight like this. I try to keep my brush going the way her hair is growing. I'm going to bring my part clear back here to the back of her head. And I also want to do this side. I'm going to turn my girl a little bit so I can see which way I'm going here. And this way, see, her hair's kind of growing, swooping down. So I'm going to go with my swoop here. And I think I'll bring this side out just a little bit more. Okay, I like that. So now grab E25. And we want to add some more down here. And up here. And just work our way back around those colors that you already laid down. And then this time, I think I'll add a little bit of this color coming out from behind this one. And maybe a little bit down here underneath this little bang she's got. like that. And then we want to do this side of her hair. And again, I want to add a little bit of color underneath where her hair is going over the top here. Okay, now grab E35. And you just work your way around, adding some more color on there. Oops, move down a little bit there. Yeah, do this side. I should have added maybe a little bit of that color up here. We will go ahead and just go with this one. And if we need to add some more shadows in there in a minute, we will. And work our way down on these bangs. And I think I'll add a few more streaks over here. And maybe pull this side up just a little bit more. Okay, and then we want to fill it in with E51. So let's go down here on our ponytails first. And I'm just going to fill that in this side. And I'm just going to work my way back over her entire hair. That. And if you want, you can leave some white in there. Totally up to you. Okay, and then after I have the hair all done, I'd like to take my darkest color again and add more streaks. So this is E29. And usually my streaks are a little bit longer than they were the first time. So they go back over where I already colored and extend it. And just a few. And we don't want to forget up here where the roots are. Next, let's hop up here and do this balloon, and for that we're going to use BG 13, 11, and 10. And I'm going to start with my BG 13. Let's add a little bit down here at the bottom. And then I want to kind of leave a shiny spot here in the middle. So I'm keeping that in mind as I go add my streaks here. And work my way down the other side. And I think I'll bring this side up just a little bit more. Like that. Next, grab BG 11. I'm not worried about it being so streaky because I want to go over it again. And then fill it in with BG 10. And then grab BG 13 again. And just work your way down. And then BG 11, I should probably fill in this bottom down here. BG 11. And it's a little streaky, so I'm going to go back again. Scrub over it a couple of times. And then BG 10 to fill it in. So again, you can take this pin and go all the way across, and that will help blend all the colors together. Now let's go down here and add our sunshine, and for that we're going to use Y38, 35, and 32. So I'm going to start with my Y38, and I want my sun to be shadowed more on this side, so I'm just going to take my 38 and add some color on this side, and then for each of the streaks, the long ones I'm going to make them a little bit longer, but these short ones, I'm just going to do a little bit. Uh-oh, looks like I colored one too many there. That's okay. We're going to go like this, and when I color that red, you won't notice, because this should have been one. Yep, it's all messed up. That's okay, we're going to fix that here in a minute. Okay, so Y35 next. When we do our red, we will just color that cute little yellow I made a mistake on right over it. That's what I get for not paying attention when I should have went one way. Remember, when you're coloring yours, you just go in one direction. Skip one. And then Y32 to fill those in. And the center. And I want my center to be just a little bit brighter, so I'm going to do it again. So I've got my Y38, 35, 32. So that leaves us with her dress and her shoes, and for that we're going to use R14, R12, and R11. I'm going to start with my R14. I'm going to do her shoes first. So let's go down here, and we're going to add our R14 just on this side. And then for this shoe, we're going to add a little bit like that. And then we're going to take R11, or sorry, R12. Some more color. And then we're going to fill it in with R11. And I can already tell I want my shoes to be darker, so I'm going to take my R14 again and just go over it one more time. R12. And then R11 to fill those in. Cute. Okay, dress. R14. Like I said, where I colored up here, I made a mistake on my yellow part. This R14 is going to just color right over that. Nice and quick. It's dark enough that I didn't have to worry. And I only did kind of in the middle underneath the sun here at the bottom of her dress. It had left a little shiny white spot, so I wasn't worried about all of this other stuff over here. And I left a little bit up here to add another light color on top of her shoulders. Oh, and I forgot to color her neck. We'll get that here in just a second. Okay, let's add a little bit of this. And try not to color outside the lines. So let's do leave a little space here for just to get a little bit lighter. Okay, now I'm going to take R12 and let's fill in up here at the top of her dress. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and grab my, let's do E21 for her neck. And just fill it in. Okay, so again, grab your R12. I want to add a little bit of color down here at the bottom of her dress. That's very messy. And then R11 to fill it in. Don't know what I'm talking about down here. Okay, so now I'm going to do her dress one more time. So grab R14. And even though I colored all this filled in, I want to go over it again so they're the same, they're just as dark. Bring this side in. I want to make sure to do this sun ray here in between. Oh, and in between this one. And I'll grab R12. And then R11. Now, I'm not liking how that's shaded down here at the bottom, so I'm going to grab my R14 and my R12. I'm going to grab a little bit of color off my R14 with my 12. And we're just going to flick over this edge right here. Okay, that's better. And then I'm going to take my R11 just to brush out here from the outside all the way across so I can blend that out and make it nice and smooth. Do the straps up here. So there is our Sunshiny Flynn all colored up. Isn't she totally adorable? So I tried to keep the card simple this time, so I have, here's the finished card. The entire thing is flat. You don't have any embellishments, so you can just pop it in an envelope and mail it to a friend, and you don't have to worry about extra postage. I added some glossy accents to my balloon so it's shiny, and I added some Stickles Stardust to the sunshine here, and of course my white Sharpie paint pen to her cheeks. And then, looks like I didn't do any sparkles in her hair. Oh, I did. Just can't see them. So I added some Stickles, or not Stickles, a Spic of glitter pen and clear to her hair to give it a little bit of sparkles. But you could whip this whole thing up and send it to a friend and make their whole day, and it wouldn't cost you anything extra to mail it because it's all nice and flat. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.